listeners. Welcome to the MedReach podcast by MedReach Knowledge Sharing Forum. Top notch talk with healthcare experts. I'm your host Roshna. Let me give you a quick insight about what is MedReach Knowledge Sharing Forum. We are the only forum to focus on healthcare management knowledge sharing. Our forum helps you to connect with healthcare industry experts. MedReach Knowledge Sharing Forum is the right place to share best practices, interesting queries and articles respect to the healthcare field. To share and seek in all the fields of healthcare industry, join with us today. Visit knowledge.medreach.in. Today we have Mrs. Chitra to join with us and to share her knowledge on the topic current HR challenges in hospitals. She is management professional who has dedication of more than 19 years in hospital management field. She completed MHRM, MBA in HR, MPhil HR Labor Studies, postgraduate diploma in hospital management, PG diploma in hospital and healthcare management. Currently, she is playing three roles: management consultant, providing management and training solutions for the hospital, management faculty at Apollo Institute of Hospital Management and Allied Sciences, social activist in HR development. So, let's get into the episode. Hello, Mrs. Chitra. Welcome to the Marish podcast.
Hi, Roshina. Thank you for the short and warm introduction. I'm delighted to be here.
Pleasure, ma'am. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing good.
Awesome. Could you elaborate more about yourself?
I can say I have contributed 19 years of my service passionately in management services to various hospitals from the capacity of 50 beds to 1,500 beds. Handled multiple positions like assistant manager and to the up to level of COO. I strongly believe a success formula to any individual or to any organization, that is 100% success is equal to 85% soft skills plus 15% hard skills. Then only we can achieve 100% success.
Great, ma'am. Seriously. Moving with the questions. India is full of educated youth as a workforce. But still, do you think there are some difficulties in recruiting and selecting the right employee?
Yeah, it's a very sensational question. You have asked at the right time. Um, I can say my opinion, the selection process, the recruitment process, the selection errors are slightly higher in healthcare industry uh, because I'm watching, observing in all these years, especially there are some differences between this category of hospital: primary care, secondary care, and tertiary care. The errors ratios are slightly different, but anyhow errors are common. There are lot of errors done by the employers as well as by the candidates. There is improper assessment going on. There are many tools. There are more protocols, hierarchy, a lot of systems, standards are there, even though it's moving in a mechanical way. So we have to focus in a humanistic way. uh, there should be a proper assessment of any individual. We have to recruit the right people, the right person at the right place, which is absolutely missing. I can say only 50% people are succeeding to fulfill this. Otherwise, it's looking like filling the numbers, filling the vacancies, not filling the exact requirement, not filling the exact need. So that's what missing there. uh, People are saying that every candidate before going to attend the interview they should possess the communication skill, but I can say that the interviewer, it, whoever is in the interview panel, also should have the communication skill. They should be able to communicate in a better way. They should be able to extract the right information from the candidates. Then only we can assess the candidate. Otherwise, we'll be missing to assess. So the extraction of information is highly important. So that is absolutely missing, especially in the preliminary assessment. because all the candidates can't be assessed by the senior most peoples and higher officials. So during the preliminary session itself, it has to be get assessed, analyzed, filtered properly. That is missing out. We are missing many candidates, and even the candidates. They have to get trained themselves. They have to do self practice before coming to the interview. They have to utilize that short time in a constructive way, which they are not using it. um, though it is obvious one, people are not doing that. So it has to get developed. That is the solution. Self practice is the solution, and creating the training to HR is again another solution. We have to create the environment for ongoing training to interview the candidates. That is highly important. Yes.
So it seems like there are so many barriers and difficulties right now. As you correctly quoted, even uh, the HR should communicate well, more than expecting an interview attender to communicate. Your HR should communicate the right things, and they have to talently filter the employees before it's going to the second level interview, so that it will save the time. Okay.
Exactly.
So, yes, how is employee retention rate in hospitals? Is it fine when compared to the other industries?
Before comparing to other industries, I wish to compare with our internal comparison between this primary, secondary, and tertiary care. We think that tertiary care hospitals can have employees comfortably, because by seeing the reputation and the brand will, the goodwill of the organization, the employees may not leave. Then there may be a myth and assumption, but that's not true. Everywhere people are moving, every where they are having their own reasons, they are having their own justifications to get relief from the institution with all these categories. So I can say that the retention ratio is only 40%. Rest of the 60%, somehow the employees are moving off. There should not be the relieving with unnecessary reason. We have to work it out. The employer always should work out the replacement cost. We can't leave the good assets. We have to retain them. We have to work it out properly, periodically, about the replacement cost, the appointment effort, the training effort, then the quality of service, what we are going to miss, as well as the patient mindset. Patient, especially our regular patients, will be very comfortable with our employees. So we should not miss them. Otherwise, our goodwill, our brand name will get affected indirectly due to this also. Even the employee should assess them properly. There should be a periodical self analysis, which is not done by the employees. uh, they have to think it over, monitor benefits. Anyhow, that absolutely they are thinking very nicely about monitor benefits. There is no query at all. They have to think it over about the non-monitor benefits, like the recognition, that position power, and the growth, the learning path, whatever they are getting. They have to think it over. Then also they should think about work-life balance, their vision, their social life balance, everything. They have to plan it, because whatever we are earning is to live only. So to live, we have to be comfortable. Just like that, jumping and shifting for slight differences of 5% to 10% difference of package, people are simply shifting here and there, and for silly reasons, for silly issues, they are shifting the job here and there. Even the employers simply terminating or simply ignoring the employees for simple reasons. So all those things are slightly higher only with the current scenario. So those has to get reduced. We have to focus on that.
Really a great insight about this. More than the money, people should coordinate both the management and employer, and they have to work effectively for the betterment of everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Can you comment on salary expectation? As we discussed, for 5% and 2%, the employer are shifting here and there for monetary benefits and all those things. How was the salary expectation of workforce involved in hospital?
Yes, this is again a sensitive question. Sometimes it's a funny also, because the employees' expectations are very, very higher. Sometimes most of the employees, they never bother about their own potentials. their own enhancements and skill developments. They never bother about that. Simply they'll compare about the standard of living. It means the cost of living, their personal requirements and needs. They'll demand the salary with the existing employer or with the new employer. So that has to be avoided. Even the employer also, by having the standard protocols and the salary standards, and the existing employee comparison issue, all those things they are keeping in mind, and they couldn't offer sometimes beyond the limit. So in this case, both should do proper industrial analysis. Both sides should understand about the industrial scenario. We have to be very comfortable about the industrial status and potential analysis. Both should have selling skill also. The employer should able to convince the right employee to get appointed with the reasonable package, whatever they could able to offer. Even the employee should be able to sell themselves. They should have the diplomatic approach. Whatever potentials they are having, they should be able to convince the employer to get the same salary whatever they are demanding. That is also again missing. But finally, I can say that the demand is higher. So it has to be standardized and analyzed in a proper way.
So you meant to say that they have to focus on a core thing like skill-based salary on all those things, except the experience and all those stuffs. Other than that, you mean to say that they have to select the employee based on their skills, and employers also should sell their skill set more.
Exactly, exactly.
Fine. Does the healthcare get efficient human resources? How is the work efficiency of employees? Is they are skillful and how it's going on?
See, in healthcare, it's again a very a thoughtful question. Comparing to other industries, healthcare professionals, healthcare employees should be highly efficient. One should have humanistic approach. We can't be in a mechanical way. The performance should be lively and touching one. It should be a honest and truthful one, which is actually missing. Everyone is performing like a formality basis. The mind is completely towards the documentations. But they are getting deviated towards the protocols completion and reports completion, all those things. Finally, they are missing the quality of providing service. So that they have to focus all these documentations and protocol standards and all, to justify it, that everyone should remember that. I can say that 30% to 60% only efficiency is there. It differs from organization to organization, and we can overcome this problem by focusing on proper performance appraisal system. We should not keep on proceeding the conventional system. We can focus towards key result areas, KRA appraisal system, where we can focus the required and most wanted criteria. You can observe all the hospitals. We can openly straight away say that nobody is covering the criteria like patient education, patient engagement, and patient relationship. All these criteria has to be directly addressed, and it has to be assessed and scored to each and every one. Because we have to retain the patients, we have to develop the business. Anyhow, patients are coming to the hospital for doctors, for the treatments. If there is a right treatment, they'll be coming. That is absolutely another factor. But all the professions, whoever it is, from the sanitary worker to any category, if we have proper approach, patient education, engagement, and relationship, we can retain the employees. Let me ask you a question. See, when if you are working in some hospital, if you are close people, whoever is nearby and whoever is close to you, uh, surely they'll be coming to the hospital where you are working, right?
Of course, yes.
The reason why they are coming to the hospital where you are working, you are not at all a doctor. Why they are coming to you?
The relationship, the strongness of relationship and the support.
That's it. The confidence, the relationship, whatever you are giving to them, that is making them to come to this hospital, right? In the same way, we have to keep it in our mind that we have to retain the relationship. Of course, they are coming for the doctor, but whatever is the output, whatever is the result, they will carry the confidence when we maintain the relationship. That's how we have to retain the business. That's how we have to retain the employees too. This is the best way also to recognize each and every individual, whoever is performing truthfully and perfectly. So this is how we can improve the efficiency of employees.
Fine, really, that's a good insight about the efficiency of employees. How would be the mindset of employees during the exit form? Like from the organization, if the employee is exiting, is it in the terms of satisfaction?
Yeah, it's again amazing question. Before answering this question, let me ask you a question. Have you found any of your close members who are happily celebrating the relieving part from the institution? Like date of joining, how they celebrated while joining? Are they celebrating in the same way while relieving?
No, I haven't witnessed anything like that. It's very rare case. In my life, I
Yeah,
didn't witness.
yeah, then this is the obvious sample of the satisfactory level. 80% employees, they are leaving from the institution in a dissatisfactory way. So the HR has to focus on this. We should have the proper exit counseling. It should not be in the formality way of counseling. It should be the effective counseling. We have to implement effective system. Everywhere exit counseling system is there, but effectively it's not happening. So we have to assess, analyze properly. Before that, as I shared, performance efficiency we have to focus, performance appraisal we have to focus. That is the best way we can retain the employees. So when we focus in that area, we can increase the ratio of satisfactory area, yeah, satisfactory ratio during the exit also.
Okay, so everything plays a combined role, like retention and salary and
Yeah,
all those.
exactly.
Fine. Mm, okay. According to you, what are the future challenges of hospital HR?
Yeah, definitely, our hospitals, healthcare industry going to face huge challenges in future. If you go back to HR evolution since 1890, we can see the growth level. Like the initially the first 30 years, it was like social welfare. Then moved into labor management. Then again another 20 to 30 years moved into personal management. Then again moved into HR asset or HR business partner. The organizations started to treat employees as business partner. Now, in this 21st century, now HR is focusing towards human development. This is not going to be a process development. So we are going to have only human development. So we are going to see something, a revolution in this century. Actually, we have to feel very proud to be in this century because there is going to be a global change towards HR, which I can say surely, definitely it will happen. See, I can say that it's going to be a technology-driven force, like artificial intelligence or automation. It's going to take place. So we can't continue in the same way in the conventional method. Even especially healthcare industry, we are having requirement of lot of automations, a lot of medical supportive devices, medical supportive services. So to handle all those things, we need people who are technically specialized in those areas. Then automatically people cost also will increases, which is going to be the future challenge. And even employees, we have to focus in a personalized way, which is very tougher to the larger institutions, but which we have to do. And in another imagination which I am carrying, like we know very well, every employee, before every candidate before joining, they'll undergo the health checkups. After complete medical health checkup, they'll undergo all other tests. Then only appointment will be considered. In the same way, in future, chances will be there to undergo a test with HR labs. After getting that certification only, HR labs it may be outsourced or in-house. So the candidate has to undergo the HR labs assessment, then only they can come for appointment. So this kind of revolution may happen in future. There is going to be huge energy loss to the employees as well as to the management due to this cyberspace. So we have to be strong enough in digital psychology. So we have to be update. We have to get the proper update on that. So all these are the core challenges which we are going to face.
That is really an innovative thinking, HR lab. Before coming in inside itself, those employees will be tested and then taken. Will it allow the space for to understand them more deeper even before getting them into the field?
Exactly. As I shared at the beginning, the success formula 80% falls on soft skills. Soft skills can't be assessed easily. So I hope HR labs will be supportive for all those things.
This is another interesting question. Recently, in a webinar, an MHA graduate who has passed out told that healthcare industry is not playing enough when compared to the other industry. How do you see this statement by him, Mrs. Chitra?
Yes, really, it's pathetic one. As he shared, it's true. Healthcare industry is not paying much, but you would have witnessed and noticed during this COVID situation, healthcare professions. The whole world is saluting healthcare professionals. So the recognition surely will be improving. But finally, what about the monitor benefits? Whether it will increase or not? Who is going to do this revolution, who is going to take a part, who is going to contribute the effort towards the development of this benefits, we have to say. So finally the answer is HR. So we have to focus on that, no other go. So HR has to take initiative. Everyone should be focused and developing their potentials to bring the revolution. So I can say that when we compare with this revolution, the revolution can be in this way. Every organization, I'm noticing chief executive officers. Are you noticing any other positions apart from CEO?
CFO,
Yeah, you are
AVP?
noticing CFO, right? Most of the organizations having CEO and CFO. When it comes to HR, it will be like not C category. So there should be a equivalent position of C category. This CEO, CFO, there should be a CHRO, Chief HR Officer. There should be all three equivalent position. Then only it will influence the environment. All three should be in equivalent power to bring the changes, to bring the business, to develop the organization. So that I hope when you have the value of creating such a position, automatically this HR revolutions surely will take place. This HR will take care of the entire health professionals.
This is a brilliant idea to introduce CHRO in the field of HR also. So, moving to the next questions. All through
Hmm.
your journey, who inspired you the most, ma'am?
Yeah, it looked like funny about my answer. My inspiration is actor Kamal Hassan. The reason is his philosophy, or his work life and personal life philosophy is be the best wherever you are. Because we can't be a chief minister or prime minister or top leading role anywhere. It's not possible to everyone, but we can be the best anywhere, which I'm following. I'm still admiring and watching Kamal Hassan about each and every move.
Surely that's a great message by a legend. Be perfect for the individualism. First, we have to be perfect, then comes the changes in the environment. That's absolutely true. Okay. Could you share your most favorite book, ma'am?
Uh, I don't want to say it in a professional way. I would like to address this question in a personalized way. My best books are my employees, my organization, and my management. I've learned so many things by reading. each and every one and each and every moment. I've learned so many things. I'm still learning. I hope we can learn more when we keenly watch, when we deeply involve, when we passionately involve with these three areas. This will be the best books which I believe.
That's an intelligent answer. Yeah, we have done with the session. I mean, the questions part is being done. Could you add more on it for concluding?
Yeah, I can conclude this session that, as I shared earlier, let's not only focus on process development, let's focus on human development. That is going to be the 21st century. We have to focus on employee integration, employee association, employee network. We have to engage our employees. We have to create bond. We have to care our employees. Our concern is highly important. We should have the personal touch. Otherwise, they'll get deviated, so we can't retain the good assets. Again, I can close this session in this way. I wish to say a statement or slogan. I can say every employer and employee what they have to think every day. By the employer, what they have to think. I will take care of my employees. They will take care of my business. I hope you can understand this statement. It means a lot. When you take care of your employees, automatically they'll take care of your business. Need not to worry about the output. Then, by the employees, I love to work unsupervised. It's my duty and pleasure. My output will be positive only. And again, it means they have to work unsupervised. They should not worry about anything. They have to work with pleasure. Automatically, the output will be positive only. That's it. This is my professional opinion. I hope HR will bring good change in the industry.
This is really a slogan of Jim, I would say. Really, everyone should remember this for betterment of all. So, yeah, to summarize what we have discussed in this session, we have discussed about the difficulties in recruiting and selecting the right employee, barriers governing it, and retention rate in hospital, expectation of workforce involved in hospital, salary expectation, healthcare industry, whether it is getting efficient human resources, how will be the mindset of employee during the exit, according to the future of the challenges in hospital HR and etc. So it's been a good session. Thank you for joining us today and enriching the session so much. This message is going to bring changes in everybody, both the employee and employee. Whoever is going to listen this, they are absolutely going to get benefited. Thank you so much, Mrs. Chitra.
Yes, thank you, Roshina, for your wonderful feedback and wonderful questions and for the wonderful compliments. Thank you to everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Hello, listeners. If you have any doubt regarding this episode, follow the topic in our Medreach Knowledge Sharing Forum. Thank you for listening. Hope you all enjoyed the session. Keep gaining the knowledge with Healthcare Industry Expert by Medreach Podcast through Medreach Knowledge Sharing Forum. Until the next episode, take care.